somebody always tells you how you're supposed to react, how you're supposed to feel about a situation. When unloaded was going to be like, nah, we unloading all.
Back in the game, it's evident. I step in the room, I'm an elephant. Run up a bag, I ran up a bag. I gotta go count on some presidents. I'm back out the dirt, the sediment. Back with a baddie, she elegant. I'm back from the dead, I'm back from the dead. Bitch, they call me the Revenant. Ah!
The Dallas Cowboys select Taco Charlton.
Ocho Blanco.
WARMUPS, Season 1, Episode 1. We're here. Welcome. 2 years in the making. Let's start with a little bit of background.
How we get here?
So we created the show with the goal of helping athletes enter the world of business, right? That's a confidence thing, but mostly that's like a how-to thing, right? Showing some action, cheat sheets, blueprints, and it's our hope that collectively we can share stories from athletes, whether they're active, retired, inactive, and inspire guys and girls in the league to suit up and get started now, right? So athletes have a lot of people on their team, but most of those people play defense.
What are you saying?
So like, well, you play defense, but not like you, right? So they're not going against 300-pound O-linemen, but they kind of are, because your homies that approach you with business opportunities, they got to go through your financial advisor. He plays defense for you and your money, right? Yeah. Your mom, that's your biggest defender. She's always looking out for you and what type of opportunities can land on your plate. And I know that you still have a say, but you have a circle of people around you that are always looking out for you, always trying to protect you, always being your soundboard for making, the best decisions. So WARMUPS is about offense. We wanted to create a safer place where we can talk shop, generate new ideas, talk about the existing ideas that are either realized already or are just on the back of a napkin. And we'll talk with people about their businesses who are way down the line. But like I said, creating a safe place to remove that firewall temporarily and let us build together. Does that make sense? What am I missing?
Athletes have been amazing at what they do their entire life. With this show, I think the biggest thing we want to show is that you can be amazing in business as well. You have all the characteristics through football, through basketball, perseverance, confidence, being able to just go do, that's what business is. So we want to break down those barriers, show athletes that this is a game they can win into.
So we'll have a few types of athlete entrepreneurs on this show. We've got new founders with an idea, founders that don't know what they want to do, but they know they want to do something. Business vets, we'll hear about their journeys. And then episodes like this will bring in, well, to me, these are the super special ones because we get a chance to bring in some of the best builders in, respective industries to talk shop. And today we have Chad Johnson. Not that Chad Johnson.
Ocho Blanco.
Ocho Blanco.
Ocho Blanco. Ocho Blanco.
You gotta be started hearing
Ocho
that.
Blanco.
And then we have someone that I've grown super close to over the past few years, Taco Charlton. What are you, year 6?
Year 6, man.
Getting old, Taco.
Getting old, but hey.
At least you ain't got no grades like me.
Hey, I'm trying to age fine like wine, man. Listen, getting better with time. That's how I say.
So, Taco, we met when you were in Miami. It's only right we kick this project off in Miami. We talked about this for the first time in Miami. So I think we just got to move to Miami. This is where things get efficient.
It's not a bad place to be.
Not a bad place to live at all.
But you know, me and you got placed with Miles Gaskin, or that's when I met you. Is Miles and yourself showing some interest in fashion? Needed a little bit of support on, you know, or more so like feedback on, you know, getting started. But Taco was, and this is for you guys because he already knows, but he was a very outspoken guy. I was expecting to go in there and I was like, you know, do most of the talking and this is how you use Photoshop. This is where you can monetize the fashion. Taco he owns a room. Like he owns a table. He was telling me what the business was. So he knows very clearly what he wants in his head. That's what I took away from that day. And then he hits me in the DMs, which I thought was dope because a lot of the guys and girls I'll sit with, it's like, you know, hey, it was great to meet you, and we don't talk ever again. And it's like, someone who's trying to be an open resource to this group of people, it's like, all right, like, cool. But Taco approaches me, very respectful. I leaned in to support him, and we began working together to legitimize his brand, Unloaded. Or what was it when we started?
Taco Truck Unloaded. So, of course, if you watch me play or watch what I post, when I do play, you know, when I get sacks, it's always, you know, Taco Truck Unloaded or the Truck Unloaded, whatever it may be. And that's what I kind of, you know, I wanted to start kind of making some fun clothes really behind that. But being a student of actual fashion and really watching fashion shows and really like starting to dive into the finer things, the stitching, the seams, the cuts, like and those the actual real part of fashion. I realized it's not just printing stuff on a sweatshirt, printing stuff on a shirt, and like you can get creative. You can really use your mind. You can push things to an envelope. How people are doing now with different ways to create, in a way, art, which is clothes, and I've seen anywhere upward to 3D printing to using recyclable, you know, materials, anything. So I've definitely seen people get it more and more creative with different things you can do, and that's kind of what I love to see. I think like fashion is kind of similar to football, kind of like where you can push yourself. You see somebody do one thing, like it kind of makes you get on your game. Let me do something even more. Let me push that envelope even more. So that's kind of what I find fun in fashion too. So it's kind of can be similar to sports in that aspect. Is you know, even the big fashion houses, they get they start competing with each other to see who's that next person, or then they try to sign the next become a designer to now take over their ways. So, like I said, me seeing that, like I said, me being a student, me loving clothes from a young kid to now, like it only spiked my interest that much more.
And, you know, getting into the process, like we worked to trademark everything, or you and your mom had trademarked this back in like 2018?
2018. So yeah, because knew I wanted to do two things. I knew I wanted to do, when we first started, it was the first Taco Truck Unloaded. And I was like, that was me having fun, me, you know, doing things of more.
Scratching the itch.
Yeah, scratch. And really more of a play off my name versus like Unloaded was really just me being able to really go in that fashion space and they can take me serious. My name has nothing to do with this. This is actually just the quality of work that I put out and how good is it to people. And I wanted to be able to size myself up with real designers and people really in fashion.
That's interesting. So when you early on, you knew that, hey, I wanted this to be more than just the merch.
So when I met him, that was the thing that I told him up front. Like, listen, I want to come out with a fashion label, but right now, in my head at first, it was going to be two labels. It was going to be, listen, I got Taco Truck Unloaded, which could be, I can maybe have some stuff with football and, stuff like that. But to me, you dropping a line of football, that's not a fashion brand. That's merch, which is cool. Merch is cool. That's fun to have. And sometimes it's fun to do. But I really want to make clothes. I want to make garments. I want to make pieces. And that's something, me traveling, me seeing, even more, especially now. And then me going to New York and maybe being in New York when it's Fashion Week and seeing those things and going to different stores. And now when I go, it's not so much is the garments, like you can really look. You start to look at the seams. You start to look at cuts, like, oh, this is creative. Or you start to really look at it more in the creative mind. When I see clothes now, it's more so, oh, I could definitely like recreate this in a different way, change some things up, and this actually be.
Put your own little DNA into it more.
Yeah, like where you see like what they did with it, but you feel like you could put a twist on it. Like you liked what they did, but I could feel put a twist on it to make it, to make it only my flavor now. Where it's not much, copying. I say like, but it's almost in a way where you're influenced in a way to do something in that nature. But like I said, add your own style, add your own feel to it, and make it come to life.
I feel like that's where I can, in a sense, kind of relate to you in the sense of, in football wise, in the aspect, tying that together with fashion, whatnot, me being a former player, whatnot, my history and stuff, being paralyzed and all of that. At the end of the day, me not playing no more. This at the end of the day, like me making this is like competition. I see this with this person. All right, I can do better than that. Yeah. If I style one of my guys like Jarvis or any of my other guys that's in the league, if I'm making clothes and garments for them, all right, this week you're gonna be fired in last year. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that for me, like that's how I bring my competition aspect of my like old athleticism into what I'm doing now, which is I love that I'm still in a sense like in the athlete world because I can still feel that passion and put it into like a competition. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I love that you kind of brought that up too.
Can we just not glaze over the fact that you just told us you got paralyzed?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we? Okay, so
we can dig now.
Yeah, well, let's dig into this a little bit. So, Chad, tell us a little bit about your story, how you got here, and then what you're doing now. And please don't leave out the paralyzed.
The
thing.
paralyzed part. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I always loved men's fashion, especially like men's suiting. Growing up, watching like 007, James Bond. That was always just like clean cut, like just that whole shit, bro. Like that shit was just very pleasing and aesthetically for me. And then growing up, we were like middle class and whatnot. Hurricane Andrew came, tore down. Our house was gone. We were homeless for a while. My grandmother, she all watched her start sewing some pieces and quilts and blankets to help. We were bouncing around. I'll never forget going my mother and father's friends, their houses, their couches and whatnot, and just trying to, basically make ends meet at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And then growing up, being not able to afford things or whatnot, like that I would see. Like custom suiting when you were young back then, bro, like that shit was expensive. You know what I mean? So growing up, I always had a passion for it. Didn't know how to really get into it. Growing up, always been an athlete and whatnot, played football.
In college? Collegiate?
Yeah, I went to college. I went to a small school, University of Dubuque over there. I got a few offers, like partial ones, from like FAMU, FIU was offering me like a small little partial one. So I played with Lamar Miller, Keith Reza, all them boys. And we did pretty well. And then so I wanted a whole college experience. I went to Iowa. I've never been or lived outside of like the state. So I just wanted the whole college experience and whatnot. Long story short, my freshman year, we were playing at school in Wisconsin. I was a slot receiver, had a slant, came across the middle, caught the ball. And then long story short, bro, the quarterback overthrew it. So tipped my fingers a little bit. I never forget, bro. Said he was 6'2", 245. Bro, I'm only 5'9" at that time, 180. I'm trying to hit him low. Like, tried to hit him right down the ledge. Stiff on me, put my head down, hit the crown of my helmet. All I remember was just blacking out, came back out. You ever get like hit so hard, bro, where you just start seeing like them white dots? You know what I'm talking about? I just remember coming back, just seeing the little white dots, everything. Everybody like, Chad, come on, Miami. Long story short, training came out. I was like, Chad, 82, talk to me. I was like, all right, I'm good. Kept trying to get up. I couldn't. So I just remember he kept saying, you feel this. Couldn't feel nothing, bro. Couldn't feel nothing. He told me he was going like this to the bottom of my feet. I ain't feel a damn thing. So long story ended up to be short. My C2 through 8 or 9 was damaged. They took me to the hospital. They injected me with a long ass needle to try to bring out a swelling because in between the discs, you have like ligaments in between your discs. Try to bring that swelling. Thank God it actually did. So after like 8 to 9 months, started slowly, surely getting more and more feeling back. And
what are the chances of that? Like, was that a rarity?
They told me between 20 to 30% chance. At the end of the day, I never forget. I was at University of Iowa Hospital. They took me over there, and that's when they told me I had like 20 to 30% chance. Like you'll never play again, all that. I'm stubborn as hell, bro. My friends and everybody tell you, bro, I'm stubborn as hell. They told me that, like, all right, you'll never play again. Cool, bet. All right. Bro, I transferred. You already know when you transfer from school, you gotta. I didn't want to sit out a year, so I transferred to a JUCO. Went to SBCC. Went over there. Yeah, played one more year. Everybody like, bro,
You actually played?
Yeah, I played one more year.
Wow.
I have played one more year, bro. I told you, bro. I'm hard headed, bro. You tell me I ain't gonna do nothing. All right,
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you. That's for real.
It's interesting that you even touch on that in your story. And I've told this to Taco plenty of times. I tell this to almost everyone I work with. It's like, that's why I love working with athletes, because you say hard headed. I see that as discipline and determination.
For sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
all of the traits and characteristics it takes to be a successful entrepreneur are exemplified perfectly by athletes.
Yeah.
And you're playing at the highest level.
True.
The trajectory of growth happens way quicker than the
Absolutely.
average. Like, it took me 6 years to even like realize I was an entrepreneur. I thought I was just like having fun, like building projects and hustling on the side. But it's just, I always like to call that out when I hear those types of stories. So keep going.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, that's it's funny because not that many people tell me or even know about that story. So everybody always tells me to share the story a little bit more and broadcast it and whatnot. But at the end of the day, bro, it's not really about me. It's more along the lines of what I feel like I can bring to other people, like what you and I were talking about just outside. And what we were saying, how we want to go ahead and just bring awareness to more people and whatnot. That's what it's really more about for me. I don't really want or care about the shot, the bright lights to be all on me. At the end of the day, if I can bring more awareness to anybody else, that's what it's more about. That's why I don't really, now that I think about saying that loud, I maybe should, share that story a little bit more. But
It's inspiring, man. Yeah. It's super inspiring, especially for me, also being an athlete who had a injury, but I actually came back. But being able to see someone who, had a career in the injury and was able to spawn that into a whole nother career, beyond the game, it's truly inspiring. So I want to commend you for that, man.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's quick little backdrop, and then from there, I actually always, being that I had a passion for it, I met my old business partner. His name was Timothy Brown. Good dude, bro. Met him at a party. One of my friends, it's funny, we had a James Bond. He had a James Bond thing. So I took full advantage. All right, bet. I'm gonna have a little double breast vibe, some red pants. I was clean, I ain't gonna lie. And then he actually had his suit custom made by Tim at that time. And then Tim, he introduced me to him. And I expressed it to Tim. I'm like, hey, bro, I've always loved this. Genuinely love to know how to get into it. Because growing up, bro, I don't know tailoring or, it's a dying art. You feel me? If I think of a tailor, everybody think you 75 years old, hunchback, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's like, look, man, if you serious, here's my email. We'll hit him up the next day. Bro, he ain't responded to me for probably 2-3 months. He's like, bro, I thought you just want a free suit or something. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm genuinely trying to learn this shit. I legit was hitting him up every single day. At that time, I was working at Total Wine. So I worked from 6 a.m. to 2. And then from there, when he finally, he's like, all right, you can come, just watch me for a little bit and see how it all is. Like, bet, say no more. I grew up down in the Heights. So it's from y'all, I don't know if y'all would really know. So it's 152nd and to Ball Harbor. So that's at least an hour drive. So I would drive from my job from Total Wine, which is around the Falls area, to the Ball Harbor is about an hour. So I would get there at 3. I probably wouldn't leave the shop with him to around 10, 11. Go back home, go to sleep, wake up at 4, go to work 6 a.m. to 2, go learn with him till 10. Just keep learning. He always taught me the smallest little things. He's like, look, bro, this, I ain't really tried to even get into the athlete world either. It was crazy. But just being a former athlete, just kind of just fell into that world. You know this too, bro. You got hella dudes that's trying to sell you custom suits and shit all day. You feel me? He's like, yo, it's gonna separate you from everybody else. You're gonna learn how to actually create a garment. You're gonna learn how to actually make a suit. You're gonna know how the shoulder's gonna slope, how it's gonna affect the drape of the garment, how the weight is gonna fall, the structure. It's literally gonna change everything. So he actually made me learn, first off, how to actually start hemming pants, create a pattern, all of that, cutting. Literally the whole thing before I even learned how to take any type of measurements on somebody else. I just had to perfect this. And then long story short, Lamar was my first guy. Mm-hmm. Growing up and playing with him, that's when he was with the Dolphins. He was like, hey, bro, I need some suits for the season. I see you start getting into this. I want to support you. I was like, bet, say no more. So did him. This is how I knew this is exactly what I wanted to do. I'll never forget. It was a second fitting. It was a Glen Check 3-piece U-shaped vest. And when to go see him, he just had a shirt. He had no shirt, shorts, and he just put a suit on, the pants, bro. First time I've ever done that. First time the fit came perfect. I didn't have to do any alterations, no second adjustments, no nothing. Even Tim was like, "Yo, you knocked it out of the park." You know what I'm saying? Like, you did well. He took full credit because he taught me.
Yeah.
So he gonna take full credit.
Teacher,
but when I seen Lamar like have the suit on, and bro, you literally, who's his wife now, Jen, or Jess, I can't remember her name. So sorry. She's his wife now. You literally, she and I were looking at him. You seen his posture change. Like, he just had a little bit more like, yeah, I look good. Like,
he felt that confidence.
He felt that confidence. You can see that. The fact that I could see that and know that I genuinely had a part of that too, that's why I instantly fell in love. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm doing. Like, I need to find a way.
People,
I need to find a way to continue to have this. Like, to see what I helped create that in him too, or just bring that out. Yeah. That was it. That's when I caught the bug off rip. Hands down.
I think it's a perfect segue.
A positive.
He talked about how the suit made him feel. You gave me some background on what Taco's building with Unloaded.
Yeah, we need to hear more about where you're from and how you landed to Unloaded.
Yeah.
Like, cause you have a really interesting story on like your mom dropping you off at the mall when you were little, and where your fashion bug, where you got bit.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in my neighborhood, it was always
the second best city in Ohio.
Listen, Columbus is the capital for a reason.
Oh, come on now.
But growing up in my neighborhood, it was always like, growing up and seeing, I mean, not only that, at that time point, it was, a lot of videos, music videos were very popular, from 106 and Park to MTV videos. And of course, us running in and out of the house, watching that, and then just growing up, you start to see, like, even back then with the rappers or whatever, it was always fashion, whether it was the jerseys backwards, the big baggy pants, the fresh Air Forces, wherever it was, you always the Timbs. Depending on, at the time where the musician was from, you would get a whole different style. And as a kid, I even paid attention to that. Like, oh, this person's from, New York. He dressed different, right? From this guy from Snoop or Pac from LA. Like, they all dressed different, but it was all different styles, and it made me interested. And then, like I said, at the time also is Jordans. Jordans were the hottest thing when we were young. And I was, like I said, I was one of those kids who was obsessed with J's. So I would wait outside the Foot Locker or Champs or wherever, and wait for my J's to come out, and hopefully I get them. So it was always, even since then, a kid, it was always that loving for, to be, more the fashion person or the fashion guy, or that had the next best.
You had to have the new Jordans that came out.
Yeah. It's always to have a jersey, and then there's some Jordans to match or whatever it may be. Or some Levi 501s. It was, always, it was always something like that. I always wanted to, I was always interested, and always, would see pieces at the time. I didn't have money, but I would see stuff and want it, want that. Oh, that is car, the big mink jackets, and, this is crazy. You feel me? Like, as a kid, you just watching all this stuff and you just loving it, and then, just taking it all in. But that's where, that interest really started. So, as I, grew, it was always the same. It was almost like a competition between me and my homies, or from then into college, or who could dress the best. Like, everybody know, can you really put something on? Like, who dress, or who the best dresser? Like, who could really, at the time we didn't have much money, so it was, what could you do with
a little?
With a little.
Yeah.
So I want to know who the best dress was on the team back then. Man, you can't go just off real. Say it's just you. Let's just say you outside.
It depends what team. What team we talking?
So what year would you say the best one for y'all? Let's say your senior year.
A college?
Yeah.
If I take myself out of it,
you gotta take. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He off rip gonna say it's me.
If I take myself out of it, man, that's a tough one. Now I feel bad. The thing is, but make it tough is if I leave, who I leave out might be a little hurt.
Nah, we can leave. Nah, bring it out. They can cut it out if anything.
We ain't cutting them out.
No cutting here. No
I need to hear it. I need to know.
Man, because it's so crazy to see now because so many guys' style has changed like since then. So even now when I see them, like they dress different or they.
It sounds like a political question. Answer.
You have someone in your head. You're just afraid to say it.
I'm just trying to decide in my head who I want to pick.
You want to text it to me and I can say it?
I'm gonna say back then I would say Amar Darboh, who you guys might not know. He was drafted to the Seahawks the year I came out. Also, him and then maybe I would probably say him out of that graduating class. I might give him the nod. Give him the nod next.
It's actually second place because you said you first.
Yeah. I'm always gonna take me as first, but second place
one.
I give him or a Davion Smith who actually played in Miami for a little bit.
What about the league?
They're close.
What about the league?
Yeah, or the league.
The league. Ooh.
I want to hear this because
you got some opinions.
I got some opinions. Well, not even that, but I got some
best
of my
player
clients too.
that I played with. Period. So best player that I've seen dress that I played with is probably Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, who has his own fashion brand.
Wow.
Label
Shout out
5. So shout out Frank. I say him. We went to college together too, so he didn't graduate with me, so he was kind of thrown out. He
was that the guy you said was gonna be hurt?
He was thrown out.
I was just gonna say that's a hurt one, huh?
Yeah. But even he didn't graduate with me, so he kind of got thrown out.
Right,
He couldn't be put in that. But I would definitely say probably Frank is somebody who also is somebody who loves fashion, also has his own brand.
Yeah.
He was the one where I'd go over his house and he has a fashion show on YouTube and we sit there
watching fashion shows.
Watching a fashion show.
2 football players. That's crazy.
So it's just
it's a passion.
So having that person who's just as creative and we just as close and we love a lot of the same things, it was always, we could kind of bounce ideas off each other. Or I'm thinking this or I'm thinking that. And then it came to a point where now it's like, one day, let's collab on something. Then like we so close, we always with each other. Like let's put our minds together and come up with one, single thing. But I would say that's a person that I played with who I respect, his
fashion standpoint.
It's crazy. He hella underrated.
Yeah, he is underrated.
Clark Senior too, right?
Yeah.
First time I seen him was his bag game is on point. That's the first time it really put me on to him. I was like, man, yeah. Especially for a big man too. He be swaggy. He be hella underrated.
Yeah. So of course you got.
That's one. Give us your top 3.
And I think you can extend beyond who you played with.
To people I've noticed who can
in the
dress.
League period. Yeah.
I'll go. So Frank, I'm gonna go probably a Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
I respect Steph. Steph fits. That third, man. I'm trying to think.
Some guys, man.
I know
some guys that got
It's some guys from different. I know that's all. It's hard to go on guys that I haven't played with because I haven't seen all their fits.
Right. You see these guys every day.
Yeah, these two guys are 2 guys I follow, so I see they post their fits. I seen them. I can go off that.
You in New Orleans now, so
So some guys. So some guys who may take offense. I haven't. It just might be I haven't seen all your. All your drip.
So someone you guys both have in common that we need to give some cred, and this is, I guess, more cred to you, VT. VT got some drip. So I met VT when he was at Miami. I think that's how I got turned on to your stuff. Is because what's your relationship with Vince?
Vince is, bro, I make a lot of Vince's pieces. A lot, bro. Especially for like the big guys and whatnot too. Like everybody loves the pants. So funny story, I started using neoprene. All my godchild love it. Godchild was the first one who fell in love with my neoprene pants. And then Vincent was the second one. So I started using neoprene because myself. So I started getting diagnosed with lymphedema. And when I was 22, I'm 30, turning 33 next week now. So that's why everybody see the little leg sleeve and whatnot. Everybody think we having surgery or I'm about to go play hoop or something. They like, he's about to go play hoop. I'm like, nah, bro. So I started using neoprene just because I need things that stretch. Because as the day goes on, the more I'm on my feet, my leg starts getting more swollen. Especially as like the lymph fluid starts building up and whatnot. So I started using it for myself. Funny thing is, all all the big boys, y'all love like
tight
tight shit that's hella stretchy. All right, bet I can be big and wear tight. All right, bet. You know? So all my big boys, they started loving it. So Vince, I started making stuff with him after he started seeing me do stuff with Godchild. Bro, I make all his like button downs that you'll see. You probably seen the most recent one when I think he was like Mexico or something, with like the skull prints and with all his silk shirts and pants and stuff. Yeah, Vince is fun. I like this.
Yeah, he's connected with Ogba because Ogba's in your backyard. Emmanuel Ogba on the
I do need to work with E. Me and E be talking up for E. You've been seeing this, bro. We've been talking for a few years, man. We need to just pull the trigger and just create.
Pull the trigger, man.
And just create, man. I just like to have fun with guys, man. I just genuinely like. See, that's the thing with me, bro. Like, the more I know you, better it is in my job.
Yeah.
Because then I can build your creativity, your personality. That's what's fun for me. Another reason why I love what I do, bro, is each person is completely different canvas. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like if I work with you, you may be the same height, same weight as this other guy over here across the street. But at the end of the day, your body's gonna be different, posture is gonna be different. So for me, it's like creating a whole new canvas. Your personality is gonna be different. Perfect example, like Jarvis and O, right? Two completely different people. Best friends, like brothers. But
low key, I take that back. I gotta put O in that best dress. He got some
there
pieces.
we go.
See?
He got some pieces too.
See?
I respect
Boy,
his pieces too.
another
I
person
respect
too.
O.
Hey, on the radio, Trey Turner.
Trey Turner, you are
Offensive lineman?
100% for a big guy.
Yeah, he's played for the Panthers.
If we put in the top three big
not
guys, I'm gonna put him up there. I'm gonna put him in my top three. If we talking about top three big guys, he's in
Got
there
you.
for
Got
sure.
you.
Jordan Mills, I can't forget about him too. He be swaggy too. He be under the radar too. Jordan Mills.
Okay,
He be under the radar too.
Okay, I haven't seen him as much, but I say for sure, Trey Turner, 100%. I get him too.
It's
They
two
both
different
got my
people.
respect as they dress differently. Like I said, two different people dress differently, but a lot of things as a big guy, it's hard to find a lot of pieces that can fit you.
Right.
Or a lot of big guys who don't know how to wear it right, if that's a way.
See, that's the thing too. That's why I started working with Vince more too. Because with me making all the clothes, everybody gonna know. All right, hey Chad, like I'm at the stove, I'm about to get the sweater at Saks or whatever. Like, yo, you know my size, what was gonna work, what's not. I'm like, bet. All right, what's he saying? He said, nah, this is a 2X. All right, bro, that 2X is an Italian 2X. That's really like my size. You feel me? Like, it's not gonna fit you. Like, nah, he said it's gonna fit me. Bro, it's not gonna. All right, bro, go ahead. Order that. He FaceTimed me like 2-3 days later when it got in.
You right, Chad. You right.
Yeah, my bad. I'm like, bro, I told you, and I know you're not gonna return it either. So you just spent like $400-$500. You laugh because you know you're not gonna return it, like $400-$500 on something on a sweater that you're not gonna return. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why a lot of times they'll mess with me a little bit. But all right, yeah, you right. You know my size. You know what's gonna work. What's not gonna work. You know my body style. You know what I mean? That's even how I started getting into styling the boys too.
So, I mean, I want to talk a little bit more about Unloaded, and how you landed on this as your business. Because, like, going back to what we talked about, you trademarked this back in 2018. So this has been part of the mission. For you. And personally, I've seen, or I guess from what I've seen, you're just passionate about fashion as you are about ball, if not more. Because when I hear athletes like, oh, I love fashion, and it's like, okay, let's throw a logo on a t-shirt. I'm like, hey, how about we do this thing instead? And I tested the waters a little bit. Hey, Taco, how about we do this? And you were not tooth and nail. You're fighting to stay in fashion. So I was like, all right, this means a lot to this guy. So talk to me a little bit about Unloaded.
Yeah, so Unloaded was something that, like I said, as I started to grow more and more, it definitely once, got in the league, it was something that I seen was actually possible. Obviously, it wasn't something I was thinking about, in college, I could actually do this. It seems far-fetched. I mean, an athlete, all of a sudden you got a fashion brand, which is kind of, I haven't really seen it been done. Of course, you see merch, but you don't really see an athlete coming out with, a fashion brand. As you see, it's getting more popular now. But as it's coming out, I'm starting to see, different clothes I like. I go shopping a lot, but instead of, I hate like wearing, I'm a person who hate wearing what everybody else has. So like, people who know me know to get me to buy something. If you say it's one of one, or like this is a limited edition piece,
sold
1 of 5, 1 of 3. Now we're talking because now I know.
Can we pause there for a half second so we can show Chad that fit that I always roast? So this is
I need
when
to
we
see
say
this.
101.
I need to see
I'm
this.
pulling his Instagram up right now. Look at my man and his grandma.
No, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie.
The 101 Alchemist. That's the 101
I ain't
Alchemist.
gonna lie.
The only thing I didn't like about the fit was my pants, honestly.
I was just gonna say, bro.
What
I
pants?
just don't like it was a midi pants. I'm not a big, I wear.
You can fit in the mirror?
Yeah.
You wear what, 30? What's
38.
That's a tight 38.
They go, yeah, it's like a 38, yeah.
Yeah, come up. Because Brockers, I will never forget, Brockers was so hype. He can finally, Michael Brockers.
Yeah, the play,
Can finally fit in the mirrors.
Bro, he called me on first day on the plane. Like, bro, I can finally fit in the mirrors.
Yeah, nah, so I can, that's the only thing I will complain about that fit.
So
was
we'll
the
put that
midi
on the
pants.
screen for the final cut. But sorry, I just had
If
to
I
pause
could go
there.
back,
Keep
I told
going.
I told my shawty that time, if I could go back, I would definitely change those pants though. I hate it. Well, I was rushed. The thing, what happened was, that was actually like a November game in Kansas, and I thought it was gonna be cold. So the whole time in my head, it was cold in the week of practice, so I'm planning my fit in my head of what I want to wear. We get to Sunday, temperature goes up. It's way hotter than what it's supposed to be. So
That's my struggle right now.
I get back and it's like, man, how am I still gonna wear this fit? Like, all right,
So you had planned it out.
Yeah, I
That's the one
had
you
planned it out
brought.
in my
Yeah,
head. Like
that's
usually
the
the day before, like I usually plan it out in my head. Like, okay, I know I got this in my closet. I know, okay, the pants, all right, boom, whatever. But then when I get, back home, we gotta stay in the hotel the night before. When I get back home to change and do everything, I realized like, wait, it's hot. Like I can't wear the pants that I was want to wear. Like it's going, I would be sweating and the poncho even. It's like, man, I was gonna wear a poncho shirt. So I'm like, what happened was I ended up settling and doing a poncho with no shirt underneath, just straight poncho. And then
I was gonna say sometimes, man, you just gotta sacrifice the fit for.
yeah,
You
for
sweating, bro.
for
You
the
just gotta
sweat. Yeah,
sacrifice it
so
sometimes.
you gotta get your fits off regardless. So it was a rush process. So I picked those pants because it matched it and went everything. But like I said, if I could change anything about the fit, it would definitely be the pants. Everything else I kind of like. I mean, some people either like there's a fit. I always tell somebody either you love it or you hate it.
Right.
There's
No
really
in
no in
between.
between. Like either you're gonna say he's doing too much and you don't like it, or you're gonna say like, wow, you actually like how creative I got
That's a
with
good
it.
point. That's a good point.
And you
So
gonna
I
like
got
it.
a question to tag along with what he was asking too, in regards of do you feel like what helped want to create that brand is that for you to be able to have your one-on-one pieces as well too, or your creativity side? Well, like what was it for you mentally that was like, all right, I can see my creativity side from this one-on-one pieces? Because if you and I were to work together, I would ask for your input for your one-on-one side, so it helps me as well.
Yeah.
We both creators and we can create one piece. Was that what you would say helped you create your?
Yeah, I feel like that definitely helped. Definitely seeing that and definitely seeing how you could really change something and even some one-on-one pieces you would start to see they putting two garments together and stitching it or like making it their own. Or a person I like who I got a lot of clothes are Greg Lauren. Like Greg Lauren does a lot of like stitching, old like jeans work and putting it together and making it a jacket or something crazy. So that kind of even got like see like when I really came of money, I was able to really to see the designers and really what they're putting together. And now it wasn't too much out my realm where in college I'm looking at that. I'm like, I'm not even gonna go look because I can't afford it. Like,
That's where I'm still at.
so now that I can, it wouldn't even be that I'm buying it. So sometimes it won't even be that I go to in the interest to buy. I just sometimes want to see the rack to see what's out there. What are designers doing now? How creative they are. I go there and be like, oh, I got an idea. Like, wow, I like how they did that. Like,
Spike
that could
your
be a little,
inspiration.
that could be like, oh, if he would have did this, like, and that's kind of where it started too. Is almost like, oh, if he would have did this, then I would have done this if I was. So it's like instead of just being that way, like, well, I'll just do it myself. Like I can make clothes, or I want to wear. And then it came even more where it's like I want to wear something or I like something and I want to make it, or I want to wear something, but instead of it's like nobody really has or everything's sold out, it's like came to a point like why don't I just start making my stuff?
What's your inspiration? What inspires you?
What inspires me is the fact. So like even to go off Unloaded, like Unloaded was something I made because I feel like somebody always tells you how you're supposed to react, how you're supposed to feel about a situation, how you supposed to react to what somebody's done. When Unloaded was going to be like, nah, we unloading all that. Like we getting our true feelings out. We getting truly what we feel, what I feel, how I feel, and kind of everything will kind of play into its own. How every color has a feeling that comes with it.
Right, that's true.
so that kind of can go along with it also. Like it goes along with the themes. You put a certain colors around it changes your mood. It's like when you walk in here and you see the openness, you see the light, a lot of light, it changed your mood versus if it was dim and it was dark and it kind of changed the whole mood. And I feel like you can do that same thing with clothes. A lot of times, like you wear what you feel. If you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling whatever, you probably got a hoodie on over your head. You lose clothes. You don't want to talk to nobody, whatever. Versus if you feeling great, you happy, you energetic, it's hot outside, you probably got a little light shirt on, some little shorts, and you ready to, have fun, be active and go around. So I just always felt like you dress what you feel. And I feel like with Unloaded, I could kind of tie into that. I could, like I said, even my whole life, I've been, told how I'm supposed to react or told how I'm supposed to be or told how I'm supposed to, react to if somebody did something, you're not supposed to act like that or whatever it may be. When I feel like, nah, like don't live your life how you want to and unload it all. So that's kind of where I went.
I do. Look, man, I'm one to go against the grain. I'm a Leo, bro. Like anything that we do at the end of the day for us is, if someone tells me that at the end of the day you're supposed to act this way, I'm gonna do the complete opposite.
That's something I've always pulled from you. I mean, there's not much more against the grain than born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, go to play for the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, that's right. That's
so how much more against the grain? Man was wearing my grandma's kilt off the PJ or wherever you were coming from for a game. So there's not much more against the grain than this guy. So with Unloaded, where did you start? Like, I know obviously we already alluded to this, like you and I got together and actually the three of us, we met up in New York, ran through brand workshops, did some more technical, operational, biz dev stuff, met with some experts, met with lifestyle brand, executives at lifestyle brands, executives at clothing brands. You're one of your mentors and homies is Mark Kaiser, who's helped connect you in the space with Kaiser Clark. You know Mark.
Yeah, Mark's good dude. Love Mark.
Mark, we owe a lot to Mark. We wanted to get him involved in WARMUPS in some capacity, but it's hard to get out to LA right now. So with all that said, talk to me a little bit about how you started and I guess it could be advice.
Yeah, no, it's been a long journey. I would say that. One thing I wanted to do was I always wanted to make sure, like when I did it the first time, it was the right way. I never wanted to rush the process and it be wrong, and then try to recover after that. One of my big things was like, you only have one first impression. So a lot of people, if they see that first impression, if it don't look serious, if it don't look real, they'll never give you a second chance after that. Like, so my whole thing was like, all right, if I really want to do this fashion thing, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it the right way and really go all in and do it. I'm not going to half-ass it or kind of slightly do it, but then don't know. So no, I really knew what I wanted and knew what I wanted to go after. Obviously, the in-between of the idea and, me, editing on the computer and putting together, making shirts and stuff like that on the computer. But how do I turn that into actually making it come to life? It took me some time from, like I said, I met, Alex, in 2019, where, I was telling him about my story and what I wanted to do. And even from then, it was still, the actually get it all mapped out and get it all organized was the next really key. Like I said, getting the ideas of the idea of what I wanted, how I wanted to launch it, what market space, how I wanted to do it, all came as key. I mean, and I kind of put my own feel into my own ideas, as in like me, like exclusivity. Like I'm a person, like I said, I shop when I know I can have something not that many people have. So I've always, when I go into design mode, none of my pieces are ever meant to have a lot. It was never going to be a lot of pieces. It was always going to be very limited, exclusive pieces because that's how I shop also. And I believe also like to counteract all the waste that goes into the environment, which happens in fashion, which when you have all these clothes, they don't get bought and they get, thrown away or loss or whatever it may be, and then it just piles up. That I'm trying to be.
How many designer brands, especially with bags, they'll purposely just scratch pieces off, something like that, throw it away, so no one it becomes a damaged product.
Yeah, so that's why it's just so like it was a way to help almost help the environment not to overproduce in a way, which a lot of people tend to do. So kind of go off that. So from meeting Alex then to then going to New York later on, with both of you guys and a whole team with Mac and everybody else. Being able to go to New York and sit down in a conference room, but also walk around New York and visit stores and actually talk to people who have, storefronts in fashion space where I could get their ideas and almost what it took to get there, and then the hardships of, how hard it was to get there.
And what are some of the hardships that you've had, the struggles that you've had in this business? Because I guarantee someone in this room can answer some of those questions.
No, I mean, you're gonna go through struggles. I mean, you're gonna get frustrated at times with timing when you want things to come out before, be there before the be there before, they're there. Then just learn to operate, like I said, with the fashion calendar of knowing when it's dropped. And then also, just being educated of knowing like, okay, even though you may have, this drop or whatever it may be, it takes time to get made. So it can't be you have this drop and you give it to the manufacturer. It won't be done in a month. It won't be done in 2. It takes time. That and that's what you start to learn. I say that was one of my biggest learning experiences, especially making clothes it takes time. It's a time aspect. You gotta you don't want to have to rush it. You want to be able to really do it the right way, make sure everything is perfect, and come out with a great product. Like I said, the luxury I feel like and the biggest thing to me is that I've had was having a good team around me. So I feel like when you have a good team around you, when you could depend on this person for this, or you have questions or you need help, like somebody's ready to take that off. And especially with athletes, we're busy and we train from training in the off season to once season hits and we got meetings and we in the building till 4 or 5, whatever it may be. You kind of it's kind of hard to, leave that, then go back and, start this. But I mean, for me, it wasn't as hard just because it was fun. It's also fun. It's also a getaway. I mean, I was the type of person that in meetings, if we got a little spare time or nothing like that, like I'll jot some ideas down. I may scribble some, you can put this on the shirt and yada, yada, and put this quote, and then on the quote, you can have this picture.
You never know when inspiration comes.
So so you can see anything and it just be like, I got like old notebooks, I got plays in it, but if you flip in the middle of it, you're gonna see like a whole 3 sheets of clothing ideas. So that's kind of how it came. So it kind of came naturally, just me throughout the day. I mean, and then after that, everybody kind of picked up on it. A lot of people whose team, I play on the team, they kind of knew like, oh, he loves. He loves the dress. He, always gonna have something, on or whatever it may be. And it kind of came about that way. I mean, the thing about it, like I said, I'm at a great team. I ended up meeting a great designer by the name of Tanu. And she ended up coming on part of the Loaded team, and us two kind of going back and forth and kind of, building the brand.
And where are you at now? Like, can I buy Unloaded right now?
So we're at the point of getting we're at the sample making point. So I mean,
How's that been?
And tell me what's that mean? What's a sample? Like talk to me about the fashion process of like you scribble down in the meeting rooms to touching it.
So it went from my scribble then going to like I said, my designer who I love is Tanu, who's great, wonderful. And she's able to make that and put it on the computer using can't think of the
Procreate.
Procreate and
Illustrator?
Illustrator, Illustrator. So Procreate and Illustrator, she's able to bring those clothes from me writing them to now on the computer screen.
Yeah,
and at that
visual CAD.
So at that point, she was able to send it to me. And at that point, once she sends it to me, I can make edits. I can say, all right, we should do this, or we should make the pants like this. And yeah, real visual, whatever per se. And then from that point, we can get like usually garments that I like, that I wear, I get the measurements from those. So, maybe some sweatpants I like or a sweatshirt that I like. And I'll get like just usually not even the design part, but usually the feel part. Oh, I like how these feel. I like how when I wear these, I like how it folds, or I like, everything like that. So I, get those measurements from those pieces, send those in. And then kind of at first we sent that all to the manufacturer where they can kind of have that. Then after that, it goes into forming a tech pack, which is
tech pack.
So what's a tech pack? Like the technical, like.
So a tech
pack is literally what it's a full blown inspect design of what you want the garment to be. Let's say, for instance, for his shirt, what you wanted the shirt to be. You literally will go ahead and mark down. All right, for the collar, I want the collar to be 2.5 inches in width and diameter. I want the stitches to be 3.2 inches, 5 centimeters apart. You go into full depth, so there's no misconception of how you want the garment to be made or constructed.
And you do that for yourself? How do you go
I don't even do tech packs, bro. I don't deal with that at all. Nope. I'm a tailor myself, so I think you gotta remember, for me it's different. The aspect of me being a tailor, I off rip already know kind of like how exactly I want. It's just like, fun fact, I can pull out a tape measure. You can use this from here, from this part of your finger to this little line is 1 inch. I'm down there every single person. So if you can even gauge and like, yo, all right, bet. Like, I'm out at dinner, bet. All right, you want this to be a 1/2 inch. Cool. Take this about half of the first part of your finger. Cool. So for me, I've learned to, throughout the years, know, okay, this is a 1/2 inch. This is a 1/4 inch, just about eye of it. So me, I'll know, all right, I need this to be a 1/4 inch. I need this to be 6.5 centimeters, things like that. But at the end of the day, setbacks, you can probably get somebody. It's just, bro, it's super tedious.
It's real tedious.
Tedious
I will say it's very tedious. It's a lot of work. That's why I commend to doing that, because it is a lot of work.
So what comes after the tech pack?
So after tech pack, you can send it to the manufacturer, and then they'll send like ours. My manufacturer she'll send me a garment of not even the sample yet, but just send me a garment. Really, just get the measurements and the sizing down. And from that point, I can let them know, I want the arms 2 inches shorter, and take the elastic band out so it free flows over the hand. Or, I want the pants fit, you can say what the stitching is too bulky. So I wanted you to take the seams down, 1/2 inch or whatever it may be, to make it less bulky. So once you kind of get that, then you can send it back. Once you have the adjustments, once you want the manufacturer to edit and change, you can send that back to them. And then after that, they can start to work on the actual sample and getting your actual product ready to go. And
what does all this mean for you? Like, it's very clear, Zay, I'm sure you can agree. Like, obviously I've had some exposure to this from the sidelines. You calling me, leaning on me when you need to. And we won't get into all the marketing and the rest of the business development, because I'm really obsessed with how you guys are talking about the process. But what does this mean for you as an athlete entrepreneur? Like, what advice would you give other people to not only get started in this space, but to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, I'm just happy to see everything come to life. Especially, like I said, I've been on this idea since 2018. So it's been a long time. So to finally get it right, to get it coming to life, and now really getting to the point where I can feel the clothes, see the clothes, I can maybe walk around and see somebody in my sweatshirt one day or in my shirt is always, like I said, it's a great feeling to be able to do it, and to know, like I said, the right work was put in. Like, it wasn't it was no shortcuts. It was like I said, I really put the work, in to make it happen the
What's
right
that
way.
feeling like? I gotta know, because I already know how it feels for me. So I want to know how it is for you, in a sense of when you finally get that final piece in, the final sample, and it's exactly how it is, what you envisioned to what your vision came to life.
Yeah,
Have you had that yet?
I haven't had the actual sample, so they're finishing it now. I mean, my manufacturer is in Spain, so it takes them a little time.
What made you get into that? Go over there?
Like I got to shout out my designer, but when I was looking for manufacturers, obviously I'm a person who I didn't want a lot of pieces made. I mean, I didn't want a fashion brand and then print 100 garments of everything and then it's just sitting there. So it takes some, I guess, persuasive talk to get some manufacturers to agree to, okay, low quantities is okay. Like,
trust me, I fully understand. Bro, perfect example. My bag here, minimum is $350 off rip. So me having a relationship, and I've been working with them since 2018. So off rip, I've been having to just talk to them like, hey, bro, like, I've been with y'all for a little bit. I've already been making some bags, my shoes, my bags. So these are my shoes too. I've already made my shoes, my bags, everything off rip. So if I tell them, look, bro, like, I'm only making 100 of these off rip, point blank, period. They gonna be like, all right, bro, relationship, and I'll tell you right now, off rip, this shit goes a way long way. Relationship in here goes a long ass way in this world too, especially with the factories.
Yeah, so I would say that would be the biggest thing. I mean, and that's I would say was a challenge also too in the brand and along the way is finding the right factory. I'd say that's probably like almost some people's probably biggest secret is what factory they use.
There's a lot of gatekeeping in that.
Yeah, it's a lot of gatekeeping on like like what factory you use, what you do, just because people don't want to give their good factories out or give them away. So I say that might be the hardest thing, especially in this space, is getting somebody to almost let you in to get to that space.
Right.
So Chad, talk to us a little bit about Duane Johnson. And when you're done with that, I selfishly want us unloaded in D&J collaboration if we can get that together. But I want a 1-of-1, and it's got to be for a 5'9" dude about my height, size.
That's super selfish.
That sounds exactly like my height. You can go to my closet right now. You can go to my closet right now.
Sweet.
That's it. I'm with it.
Cool, but yeah, give us a little bit of background on that.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready. Just ask me.
I asked. That was my ask.
So background with Duane Johnson. First off, the name is based off not The Rock, Duane Johnson. It comes from my father's middle name. That's just like my salute to my father. Growing up, I kind of resented him in a sense of because how much he worked. He was never home. Until as I got older, I started realizing, all right, you working to provide for the family and whatnot. So in a sense, that's like, I appreciate you for more you've always did from afar. So the company was named after him. It was my thank you to him. And then Duane Johnson it started as just a fully custom clothing company. So I started as a tailor, being a fully custom tailor and doing everything fully custom. And a lot of my perfect example, Vince was one guy. Jarvis was another one of my guys. A few of my guys in the NBA, they started hitting me like, hey, bro, like I'm in town. Like, I need something for the fit for the night. You know how they go. Like, I need a fit for the night. What you got? I ain't got nothing, bro. Everything custom. You know what I'm saying? So all my shit started realizing like, damn, like, bro, as much as I love custom and whatnot, I started realizing like, I really want to start creating a brand, start creating a little bit more of a legacy, something that can last. I can pass it down to my family, my kids, and my generation and whatnot as well too. So that's kind of what it helped me go into more ready to wear pieces and garments and things of that nature is what I'm starting to do now. I've had just did my second season, which was the F1 that I know you love so much. It was not as well too. So
he's already sold out. I swung and missed.
Yeah, so I got a few of these tees left, but I mean that's about it. I know you. Yeah,
we'll talk. You're
the same height, same size. Yeah, we might be able to work something out. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. With struggles and everything, trust me, I'm right there with you. It may sound. I've been there, done that. Please, like even when the cameras are shut off for everybody, just grab my number. Please, I'll help you with it. Whatever it is. It ain't no gatekeeping around here. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Another reason why I love Mark, bro. I'll never forget the first time I met Mark. It was an art battle at his show. I think it was with Puma. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Hit him up. He's like, please come through. And he was just giving me a little bit more of an insight of how I should move from where I'm going with the tailoring into ready to wear, into like actual clothing brand, what's ready to wear garments, how to put these pieces in the stores and things of that nature. Bro, Mark is truly incredible. He really is. I really appreciate him for that, giving me the insight and stuff too, because he really helped me out with just giving me just a little bit of a knowledge too. He's always had the door open for me and whatnot as well too. So, Mark, I appreciate you, bro. Truly, thank you, man.
I'll let him, but to go off there, I gotta say, yeah, Mark is a real good dude. From even me flying out to LA, him pulling up to my hotel room, sitting there with me for an hour, 2 hours, just really talking about fashion and how he built his brand, things he could help with, working with manufacturers and the troubles and what's helped him. And, him telling his story from him, about to be a lawyer almost to then, going to one of the top new designers out. So it's just crazy to see the progression and to see like, okay, you work your way up. I see how just to see, okay, how you did it. But like I said, just not to know me really, just for me to hit, a DM and really him knowing Alex, almost kind of connecting the dots, for him still genuine enough to pull up and really sit down and talk to me for 2 hours about clothes kind of attests to, like I said, the type of person he is. But no, I just want to say that, but I'll let you finish.
That's exactly how he is, bro. Like, he legit, bro. I'll never forget that Art Basel event. It was his event, and we were just chopping it up, and he's sitting there, he's like, people were coming up trying to conversate with him as well, too. He's like, yeah, just give me 1 second. Continue with the conversation with me. Me being a humble person growing up at the same time, I value that a whole lot, because I would be the same exact way. So for me to see somebody else in that aspect in my same line and kind of treating me how I would genuinely treat someone else, bro, that went a long way for me all day. So that's why I say it, bro, all day. Whatever you need, man, just let me know.
So is that the collab? Is that where we get started with the collaboration?
Man,
is that
we
the bridge?
For sure, all day. I'm all for collabs and whatnot as well. So at the end of the day, I feel like collabs for me are just two people that just genuinely have a true passion together, in regards of having creativity and artwork, or even just clothing and artwork, and just coming together just to build and help each other grow. Man, bro, perfect example. Like, if we see Kith, at the end of the day, that's what Kith is grown and built on. Just doing that.
Supreme also. Supreme collab with a new designer, a new thing every week, and drops some explosive collabs.
It's true, though.
I don't mean to force the creative process here.
No, I mean, the thing is, too, though, that I've noticed even, by him talking, he's even in his creative aspect of making individual clothes, it sounds like he already collabs with people in a way as is, to get a feel, get a, idea of what they like, what they do. But obviously not every player has that, creative mindset or like fashion mindset where they really know. You just kind of, they may know a feel or a thing, but they're really, they may not know that. But I could tell he's able to bring almost that, what they do have out of them.
Right. That's why I love working with Jarvis. So you'll see now. Now we in New Orleans now, so we're gonna have some fun where even like Cam Jordan and whatnot, those guys, they genuinely have an idea and they'll just give me the juice and be like, all right, just have fun with it. Or they'll just tell me like, yo, I want to do this, let's kind of do that. And I'm like, all right, now I know how we can gel together and whatnot. So I'm definitely with it. We definitely got to cook some. You got to show me what you got too. Like, I need that. I need that. I need that. I need that. Taco Tuesday too?
Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh, so Taco's diversified. He's got doors. He's got the fashion brand. And go ahead and tell him what we're working on right now.
I got a taco spice coming out too.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be a taco season, a taco truck season real soon.
What if we like do something to where like where we do like a collab, we have like a storefront, right? Where it's just in the sense of like a kind of like what you been a bodega out here?
Yeah.
I just took him. That's what I'm saying. We can see what I'm saying. Like we can do something like that where it look like it's a taco spot where you go in the back, and that's when we have like the limited spots or something like that. That'll be hard. I ain't gonna lie, that'll be a little vibe
that'd
too.
That'd be a dope pop up right there. That'd be fun.
Like I like that.
So it's done. This is what WARMUPS is for.
Right. I like that. That'll be hard. Like you don't even really know. Okay, then you go to the back.
And then it surprise you like, oh wait, this is.
Like, hold up, bro. I had tacos and then oh shit, some fire clothes. We
got people on the WARMUPS team in commercial real estate, so we can make that happen.
I'm with that all day, bro. I'm with that all day. What are you trying to make right now? What you got coming up that's in it? So in the sample aspects, what do you have that's coming on with it right now?
So right now it's just the fall drop. So right now it's really just sweatshirts. My first job was gonna be sweatshirts, sweatpants, and then shirts. And then after that, I want to go into more jeans and.
Hate jeans.
You hate jeans?
Hate.
See, the thing about jeans,
Just
why I want to
making
do
them
jeans.
those-
The thing why I want to do jeans is because a lot of big guys, have you said,
For sure.
struggle with jeans.
I agree 100%.
And so what 90% of athletes do is shop at a mirror. Nothing against a mirror, great clothes. But I'm just saying they shop at a store just because his jeans have elasticity, so they can stretch with them. And so us with big legs, we're able to still kind of fit versus, but it's all tight. It's all tight jeans too. Versus, you don't really have no loose. The people who's coming out with loose jeans nowadays is like the Balenciaga, who's coming out with the oversized,
especially with
fit.
the more oversized straight leg.
But besides that, you mostly get that tight. That tight feel. So if you do want some baggy clothes or baggy feel, or not even baggy, but some little room in your pants, like for big guys, it's hard to find. So that's the next, pass or next, milestone I want to kind of get into that, that jean aspect of thing.
Okay. No, I was just saying, just because jeans, man, working with it that's ooh.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
It definitely is tough.
I've heard,
especially with
the
washes and everything too. That's the only thing. That's probably why the one thing that I haven't touched yet, to be real with you too. It's just because that process with denim is so difficult, it's so hard. But I definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with some denim for real.
Yeah.
And then what we can cook up too.
Nah,
that'll be hard. That'll be hard. I ain't gonna lie. And especially with some bags too, we can probably cook up. I know
I'm a bag person.
That's what I said. I know you seen the bag coming in.
I see it quick. Like, what the bag is that? Like, I like that. Like, I love that. One thing about colors you're gonna see is a whole lot of
What's
nice
your favorite
bags.
color, would you say? Don't say black or red.
My favorite color is red, though. My favorite color is red. But I do like, when we talking about clothes, though, I love green on clothes.
Okay.
And one thing, too, I pay attention to, I don't know about it, but I pay attention to, like, girls' clothing, too. Like, girls' clothing be fire. Like,
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
girls' clothing be fire. Like,
You'll learn this now as you more designing and whatnot too. I get a lot more inspiration from women's clothes.
yeah, nah.
Because us men, we can only gather and do so much things. But for women's, that's why I just started doing women's. I just started doing women's.
You can get so creative with women's stuff. Is it like I said? I'll walk in, I see the store. I'm like, well, those even from heels to bags, girls' bags to jackets, whatever. I can like see it and know like that's a fire. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
Like, to the point like I'll buy it for my like I just want to see you in it. It's like it's so fire. Like somebody got to get it. Like you got it. You feel me? That.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see like just the aspect of how creative they get in girls' clothing like is legit. And they, like I said, it almost helps you. Like he said, gets you to almost like, oh wait, you can
Provide
do
some
that with this.
inspiration.
Like
Turn it into a little bit more, bit of a manly vibe, especially to the more like the size to it. Yeah. It'll be working, man.
I can see we about to have a lot to talk about at dinner tonight. I'm gonna definitely take this offline. But now, before we wrap, man, Taco, like, what inspiration or advice can you provide for other athletes, male, female, within the locker room to get started in business?
One, like if you know what you really want, just take that leap of faith. Don't get discouraged when things go wrong. Because like I said, he'll attest to it. I'll attest to it. Like you'll have situations that'll get frustrating, things that'll go wrong or won't go to plan. I just say just keep on going. I just feel like if you really know what you want, you keep on going after it, like it'll all come in due time. Like it's all, God's timing in a way. So in due time, like I feel like it all comes a process. I say that, like I said, to have a good team, just to keep you motivated, just to keep you focused, just to keep you, driven to keep going. Is always the next, best thing I say is to have a good team, stay focused, don't give up. And like I said, just take that leap of faith. If you know what you want and you really want to do it, like really try to do it. Like don't be too scared. Like just really go after what you want.
That's love. That's love. Nah, man, we appreciate you guys joining us for episode 1.
Appreciate you having me, man. This is fun, bro.
This is a long time coming in. Like we talked about earlier. We landed on this concept because of these types of conversations around drinks, around food. And it's like, man, I wish we had a camera in these moments. So to be able to watch Taco grow, been a privilege. To be able to meet you, Chad, been a privilege. And thanks for believing in this vision. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and all these guys and girls. And we're touching more than just athletes with this platform. We're touching that single mother who is now the breadwinner and wants to know how you guys started with what you guys have built. We're touching veterans who are coming back over to the States after service and building a new platform for themselves. So it's been a real honor to watch you guys grow this thing. I'm excited to see where your guys' relationship goes.
Man,
if I'm not on the short list for the collaboration, and I don't get a 24-hour heads up.
Be along for the journey.
You gotta get one of those 50 pieces.
Yeah. If I walk into a bodega and there's a shot behind with your guys' stuff in it, just lose my number. All right.
Back in the game, it's evident. I step in the room, I'm an elephant. Run up a bag, I ran up a bag. I gotta go count on some presidents. I'm back on the dirt, the sediment. Back with a baddie, she elegant. I'm back from the dead, I'm back from the dead. Bitch, they call me the revenant.
A few hours later.
All right, Alex, how'd that work out for us?
That's that nigga from that rap shit. New air and my crown fitted, but I still ain't never on no cap shit. Been a captain of my own ship, back when I ain't have jack shit. Lighting verses, I burned this, got that Weezy F off of that piss. In the booth, I'm a mastiff, my skill set just massive. On my fourth quarter bronze shit, all my niggas hate when I be passive. Camera shy out in Cali, big life moment, couldn't even grasp it. All the stress took a toll, but when the credits roll, I'ma drop a classic. And my city gotta blast it, gotta hear it from the rooftop. Flavor Flav, Big Daddy Kane, I'ma walk around with a jukebox. All the blood, sweat, and tears over